So I wanted to share a tip about putting in option orders after a funny thing happened yesterday. So this chart is for AAP or Advanced Auto Parts, specifically the January 17th, 2025 35 strike put option. So this option expires in a little over 2 years from now. And initially, I saw that AAP went down a lot from earnings. And typically, something I like to do is go as far out in time as possible and just sell the furthest output or just look at it and see what they're at. Um, I did this a few times in things like Tesla, GameStop. Um, Looking at the really far out options, sometimes there's some wacky stuff going on there. But what I did was I hit the ask to sell the contract. I think I had to go to work or something, so I just left it there as like just a reminder to look at it again later, like not expecting it to get filled at all. And uh, it actually ended up getting filled like a little bit of like a few hours later that same day. So on this chart, you can see um, the price of the contract and the volume. So I'm selling the put contract, so I want to sell it for the highest price possible. Um, this is when I sold it. You see, there's only one bar of volume here, and I managed to get filled at 280. And I was kind of confused by that. Um, why I got such a good fill. Typically, if you're trying to sell something, like the advice is to maybe start at the mid price. But actually, what I always do with my option orders is I'll start at some ridiculous price. Well, first thing I'll do is I'll check multiple different platforms. So I'll check Interactive Brokers, I'll check Tastyworks, and I'll even check Robinhood just because why not? I have it. So I check in three spots because sometimes I'm trading contracts that have zero volume, and when there's no volume, you're not quite sure what the actual price should be because the bid and ask is super wide. Um, Typically, what I'll do is I will never get filled right away. I'll start at, if I'm selling something, I'll probably start above the ask and walk my way down slowly. And I'll look at the platform, and the ask will change because it's my ask and it's coming down until I get filled, right? This was a weird case where I put it in and forgot about it, and it filled. The very next day, I noticed the P&L was like up 90 up $90. And I was like, that's weird. A 2-year duration contract really shouldn't move that fast. Like after one day, it was really strange. So I looked for any news with Advanced Auto Parts, and it could have been, I didn't look too hard. There could have been something that would influence this contract. But as far as like just stock price, I think it was up maybe 3% or something overnight. Not enough to, you would think, not enough to move a contract like this. That's 2 years out in the future. I saw the P&L and I was like, well, surely that's wrong. In Interactive Brokers, it will just display your P&L as the mid price of whatever it's trading at, and it might not always be accurate. So I thought, let's just try to buy it back for giggles to see if that's actually true. So I checked the quotes, and they're like, okay, yeah, there's actually some, as you can see on that red candle, that big red volume candle, there were actually, this was when I was looking at it, there were a decent amount of contracts being traded. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I managed to buy it back at 195. So that is 30% of the value of a over 2 year contract gained in a day. It just, I was like, what? That is so goofy and random. And okay, cool, I'll take it. Like, why not? I'm definitely not going to hold it. If you get 30% on a 2 year contract in a day, uh, bye. Like, thanks for the money, man. Um, but I think it's an important lesson that whenever you're putting in orders, especially like multi-leg orders, to start, if you're selling something, start above the ask and work your way down. You never know what you might actually get filled at, or put in an offer and walk away. As long as you know, if it's something long duration like this, a 10% swing in the stock price might affect it, but it really shouldn't. Um, so yeah, the takeaway here is just to, if you're selling something, don't just hit the bid. Start at the ask or above it and work your way down. And you might get a lucky fill. I don't know what happened here, but I'll take it. So there you go.